So let's see together how to paint lighting and shadows on objects we have in the scene in the correct way. Now, I'll draw a box following the 2-point perspective. And here you can see on the right line, an orange line. Basically, this is my way to indicate we have a light. The light is basically up here at this point. We can draw it with the brush. Okay, so this is basically the light and is just pointing to the box. And I draw the line here going up because I want and we need to know where the X and Y position of this light is. Okay, so if you think this is a point in the 3D space, okay, we have X, Y, and Z. Okay, Z is the height. Okay, so this is Z, but X and Y, it's here on the floor, on the ground. So that's why I draw this line here. Okay, so this is the starting point on the XY plane, and this is the final point of the lamp of the spotlight up in the air because of the Z, okay, because of the height. So what to do? How can we calculate in a correct way where the shadow is, where the box shadow is? Well, I will paint this in another layer. So I will take a smaller brush. Okay, even better. You can do it with the line tool. Line tool is even better because you need to trace for each vertex here, for each pair of vertices, a couple of lines. The first line starts from the base here, and the second line starts from the spotlight itself. Okay, so let me show you what to do, for example, for these couple here. The first line has to start from here and pass through the point at the base. Okay, so the point here as at the base, the line should, pass through the point at the base of these two. And then the second one start from the spotlight itself and pass through this point here at the top. Okay, so I will do this, pass through that point, and I can stop. I can stop when I reach the other line. Okay, so this is the first point I care about. Okay, and I do the same for all the others. Okay, and when I say all the others, I mean this one, this one, this one, this one. It's in the back, so you have to draw, the entire box if you want to accomplish this. Okay, so from this point to this at the base, from this point here to this one on the top. Okay, cool. And the last one here at the base, and from here at the top. Now, I don't care about this one since this part of the box is completely in light. Okay, now that we have these 3 points, I will, in a different layer, make a selection. Okay, you can go for lasso, polygonal lasso selection. So I just passed through the 3 points I created, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, I mean, if you want, you can pass through this point just because, it makes sense. This point here, and then finally, again, this point. So this is the shape of the shadow. And I will, take gray color and fill this area. And then I can just, select with the lasso tool, maybe on a different layer. I don't need this anymore. I can just select this. See? And this is the part in shadow, right? So I'll go for a slightly darker value. And last, this one. Now, if you draw your box in the right way. I mean, if you close every single, you see, area when you draw the box itself, you can do in a different way when you want to add, the filling part, which is this. You select with the magic wand with a little bit of tolerance, like, I don't know, 20, everything outside, contiguous, see? Everything outside. And then you invert the selection, Ctrl-Shift-I, see? And then you fill this area. And if you want, you can contract a little bit, select, modify, contract a few pixels, see? And in this way, it's going to be a lot easier. Okay? See? There's no white spots whatsoever all around. That's a lot better. And you can also add a layer, attach the layer to the one at the base, and then just paint. On top of it. See? So this is the basics, okay, of painting a shadow, and but you need a light position, of course, okay? Now, don't think I'm going to do this every time. After a while, you become expert, you can become proficient, and you can do it like by just looking at what you're painting. But you know what? If you are going to do the blocking of your scene, okay, and you're not using any 3D software, this is mandatory. This is a good idea, okay? So you pick a spot for the sun, and you have to draw a few lines to understand where the shadows are going. And that's a good idea. It's a quick thing to do. And if you do it at the beginning, at least where to paint shadows, and the overall quality, will increase, and you don't have, to do, that again, maybe in a second moment. It's better to start with right feet, when it's about matte painting. Remember that you can draw boxes by hand like this, but feel free to do it in 3ds Max if you want, or in Cinema 4D or Blender, whatever. It's a good idea to block out the scene, put a sun, a sky, and just render a very simple maquette of what you're going to do, what you want to do. And, it will be incredibly helpful since you can save a lot of time, and you can be 100% precise on, every shadow direction, okay? So the next exercise is about drawing a scene with boxes. And of course, if you want to be more accurate, okay, you can say, okay, the shadow is going to disappear, as long as you go far away from the object. Okay, so you can, I don't know, go down with the opacity of a brush and paint a little bit, see? Like this. These area here should be a little bit brighter at the base, okay, since, you have the GI, so you have some light bouncing off the floor. So again, you can go with a very low opacity, and you can start painting a little bit, see, of light from bouncing here. In the same way, you can have a little bit of light bouncing on this face, because the floor is really bright, so you can have something like this. And now the cube works a lot better. It looks a lot better, just with a little bit of just with a little bit of gradients, I would say. And I will keep this only in this area. Yes, see. And so, but this is something not related to the shape of the shadow, okay, and how you calculate it. But remember, you have also GI in the scene, and so it's really difficult to have very flat colors, and it's better to have a little bit of gradients where the light bounce of closed geometries and closed objects. Remember that you can also blur the shadow a little bit if you want with the smudge tool, or with the blur tool, or with one of the filters we have here. It's up to you. The longer the shadow, the stronger the blur, I would say. Okay, so this is it. Next video.